Hello everyone, welcome back to Walk With Me Gaming. Today we are ranking the Season 3 of Sokpop. This is going to be my last review video for a while because after this I'll be returning to Sokpop Saturdays with Season 4. I'm excited for this one because this may be the first bundle that I've ranked that I liked every single game in. Again, these rankings are based on both my personal experience and the overall quality of the games. If you want to argue quality, I insist that you buy the games and play them for yourself. Most are only $3. Well, we have 8 games to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so bottom of my list is Frog Struggles. Even down at the bottom, it's still better than a few of their earlier works. The main reason I'm putting it at the bottom is playability. Flying around in a 3D space is difficult to manage even for large teams. So with only 4 guys working on it, I really don't want to fault them too much. Everything feels just kind of bulky, from the flying to carrying fruit to fighting enemies. I also never figured out how to beat the frog, which I would have loved to do. Still, I thought it was fun and at least interesting to look at. Next up is Oh Crab. You play as a weird little fish man defending a sandcastle home from crabs. The game is extremely short, and I honestly don't know if there's a way to protect your home indefinitely, as the waves always ended up washing mine away. But it's the premise that keeps this one afloat, because it's designed like a sitcom pilot, complete with title screens and a live studio audience response. It's just a charming little fish game. Alright, games 6 through 3 were tougher, because I liked everything about the same. So for number 6 we're going with Hapa, which is Swedish for jump. It's a cute game where you play as a pole vaulting villager hopping across a river to rescue a baby duck and bring it back to its family. Adorable and plays well when it works, but I had several attempts to play the game where I fell through the map or for some reason couldn't jump. So glitches kind of pulled down this game's ranking. Still charming and fun for a 5 to 10 minute experience. Number 5 is Skidlocked. This one was cool, just a flimsy bike zooming around a busy city. This was probably one of the more labor-intensive games to make, with hundreds of cars, trucks, and buses traveling around this giant grid. The gameplay is simple, and crashing was a bit annoying, and pretty frequent too. But it was still fun, and I enjoyed exploring the map. I do wish the map had more visual variety, like in Crazy Taxi, but hey, 4 guys don't have all the time for that. In 4th place, we have Sokpop's first full-size game, costing $5 as opposed to the usual $3. Sima Land is a card-based god game. You play as a mostly benevolent god and provide the people of your world with resources. You can build up their knowledge and give them inspiration via your acts. If a villager wants rain, you can provide it and gain more worship points to cast more cards later. I'll admit I got a little confused later in the games when people started asking for things I had no idea how to create. Apparently, you can combine the uses of cards to make different terrain, plant life, and creatures for your people. But mine just always seemed to starve to death or ended up freezing on tundra terrain. I personally should not be playing God, but I did enjoy it in these short bursts of this game. In 3rd place is Dollar, which I couldn't find any translations for that made sense, so this one's kind of up in the air on what it means. You play as a mouse in the middle of a huge maze. It's randomly generated and changes every day, but if you die, you respawn at the start with every item you've collected for the day. So while setbacks can be large, at least you get an advantage for your next try. Some of the weapons were annoying to use on enemies, but otherwise this game felt good. The darkness around you and the tight corridors really amped up the atmosphere of panic and desperation in this game. Number 2 spot goes to Visir, which is Dutch for fisherman. Just like llamas in the last bundle, sometimes it's the simplest games that give you the most joy. Little round man goes fishing. That's about as deep as it goes. You can go fishing from the dock, the beach, or even your little motorboat, and pick up different pieces of food and material to use as bait. And that's about all that you can do. There's not much else to say, except that this is a cute, simple, fun, and relaxing game. Number 1 took me completely by surprise. Soco Loco is a train building game. You're given a goal and then use your resources to help accomplish that. This means connecting tracks to resource providers like forests for wood or mines for metal. With those you can expand your train, eventually build towns and create more people to work. The game feels like a living world. At first I didn't get it, but the satisfaction of completing tasks really sucked me in, and I was spending more and more time building up my railways and making massive expansions just for fun. The best part is that they made a larger size game of this premise, so one day I'll be playing even more. Seriously, I got hooked on this one and it is well worth your money to give it a try. Well, that's my Season 3 recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you found a game that you might want to try. Seriously, the games are at such a low price point that if you like the idea of one, you should totally buy it. And if you like a little more variety and surprises, you can support them on Patreon and get a new game every 2 weeks for as little as $3 a month. I'll see you guys next week with the first game of the Season 4 bundle. I'm looking forward to see what lies in store. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.